Two friends find themselves stranded in a broken-down car during a zombie apocalypse. With no way to fix it and supplies dwindling, they're stuck for 3 days. Can they escape? The story is set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. Mickey and Ben, two baseball buddies, are among the few survivors. They roam through the forests and rural areas of New England, scavenging for supplies while fending off relentless undead threats. However, survival isn't as thrilling as expected. Most of their time is spent idly waiting. Ben adapts quickly to this harsh new reality, learning to fight zombies and gather food using whatever he can find. Mickey, on the other hand, avoids combat, preferring to retreat into his music through his headphones. During one of their searches, they stumble upon an abandoned car. As they approach, a zombified woman emerges from the driver's seat, but Ben swiftly puts her down with a shot to the head. Luck is on their side. The car starts immediately, allowing them to continue their journey on wheels. Mickey suggests stopping by his ex-girlfriend's house to look for supplies. While Ben cautiously checks for zombies, Mickey reminisces in his former lover's room. He picks up a new CD for his player, inhales the scent of her clothes, and gets lost in nostalgia. Meanwhile, Ben focuses on gathering useful items, discovering 2 battery-powered walkie-talkies among the belongings. The friends also take blankets and pillows, preparing to spend the night in the car. Tired of constant movement and sleeping outdoors, Mickey proposes staying in the house for a while. But Ben refuses. Staying in one place is too dangerous. He reminds Mickey of their early days in the apocalypse when they barricaded themselves in Mickey's house for 3 months with his family. Supplies ran out quickly, forcing Ben to kill the family dog to prevent starvation. Despite their efforts, zombies eventually broke in, leaving only the 2 of them alive. Reluctantly, Mickey agrees, and they continue their journey. One day, Mickey stumbles upon the walkie-talkies and inserts fresh batteries. As he and Ben test the radio's range, they unexpectedly intercept a conversation between other survivors discussing a supply list for their camp. For the first time in ages, Mickey hears voices of people living a seemingly normal life, celebrating birthdays, watching movies, and having steady access to food and shelter. Hopeful, Mickey tries reaching out, asking to join them. However, a harsh male voice from the radio dismisses him, warning him not to clog the airwaves and stating there's no room for them at the camp. The voice also instructs someone named Annie to stop communicating with them. Desperate, Mickey pleads, but the strangers cut off the connection. Ben takes the rejection in stride, ready to move on. But Mickey refuses to accept it. Determined, he keeps trying to contact Annie. Ben sarcastically comments on Mickey's actions, suggesting that his friend is overly romanticizing the situation with the stranger, vainly hoping she'll be a sultry heroine from the movies who will rescue him from the zombie apocalypse. In contrast, Ben maintains a realistic outlook and advises Mickey to adopt his pragmatic approach to survive. The friends arrive at an abandoned motel. Mickey volunteers to inspect the building but quickly regrets it when he discovers zombies confined in one of the rooms. Once again, Ben steps in to protect them from the undead. He urges Mickey to join him in learning how to combat zombies, but Mickey remains reluctant. Soon, Mickey faces zombies alone. While Ben takes a swim, Mickey sleeps in the car, oblivious to a female zombie approaching. The undead woman reaches the car and clumsily attempts to get inside, eventually waking Mickey. Terrified and unsure how to defend himself, Mickey experiences his first solitary encounter with a zombie. He desperately calls for Ben's help. Observing the zombie's futile efforts to enter, Mickey realizes she was once an attractive woman. Deprived of intimacy for months, he contemplates satisfying his desires by watching her. This unsettling moment is abruptly ended when Ben returns and shoots the zombie in the head. Tension between the friends escalates daily. During another search of abandoned houses, Mickey loses his temper and insists they spend the night indoors. Ben reluctantly agrees but confiscates Mickey's music player, explaining that Mickey's constant use depletes their batteries and endangers them, as he might not hear approaching zombies over the loud music. Ben emphasizes the importance of teamwork for survival. Frustrated, Mickey storms off to another room and attempts to contact Annie again. She responds, warning that their communication could lead to her exile and cautioning that the survivor camp isn't what Mickey envisions, urging him to abandon the idea of joining them. Despite this, Mickey expresses willingness to leave Ben to join the camp, but Annie dismisses him harshly. Meanwhile, Ben allows himself a rare moment of relaxation. He plays music at full volume, drinks, and dances with his gun. In the middle of the night, he hears suspicious noises outside and captures a zombie. Deciding to give Mickey a harsh survival lesson, Ben places a bat next to the sleeping Mickey, releases the captured zombie into the room, and locks the door. Awakened, Mickey pleads with Ben to let him out, but Ben insists he confront the zombie with the bat. After a tense struggle, Ben opens the door to find Mickey, breathing heavily and covered in zombie blood. Enraged, Mickey attacks Ben. Despite the assault, Ben is pleased that Mickey finally defended himself and killed a zombie. Mickey then shares his conversation with Annie, revealing she advised him to forget about the camp. Losing hope for a normal life, Mickey breaks down in tears. Ben reassures Mickey, and they continue their journey, appreciating the beauty of nature and finding ways to entertain themselves. They go fishing, share stories, play baseball using apples, and eat fresh fruit straight from the trees. One day, they come across an abandoned car in the middle of the road. Seeing an opportunity, Ben decides to siphon its fuel, but Mickey notices the hood is still warm. Realizing someone might be nearby, they call out for the owner but receive no response. As Ben focuses on extracting fuel, a stranger suddenly seizes Mickey, holding a knife to his throat. The man demands the keys to their car, threatening to kill Mickey if they refuse. Ben offers to take him along, but the stranger insists he is escaping to Arizona alone. Trying to reason with him, Ben asks why he is running and what makes him desperate enough to kill an innocent person. The man explains that a group promised him freedom, supplies, and a truck in exchange for working through the winter, but they betrayed him, forcing him to flee. His fear turns to rage, and he threatens to cut out Mickey's eye. To de-escalate the situation, Ben claims the car keys are in the ignition, promising to disarm and let the man leave if he releases Mickey. The man shoves Mickey away and jumps into the car, only to realize too late that the keys are actually in Ben's back pocket. Panicking, he tries to escape into a nearby field, but Ben shoots him dead, leaving Mickey in shock. The two argue about whether killing him was justified when they notice another vehicle approaching. A woman's voice calls out, assuring them they mean no harm and are only there to refuel the abandoned car. Mickey trusts them, but Ben remains wary and keeps his gun raised. A young woman and a large man step out. She orders her companion to grab a gas can instead of his gun and approaches cautiously. She asks about the car's driver, and Ben lies, saying he had been bitten by a zombie and had to be put down. The woman, Annie, presses further, asking if the man mentioned anything about himself or the car's origin. Realizing they are from the same group that was hunting him, Ben feigns ignorance. However, Mickey unwittingly recognizes Annie as the person from the radio, exposing them. Without hesitation, Annie shoots Ben in the leg and holds Mickey at gunpoint, warning them not to follow. She takes their car keys and tosses them into the field before driving off. As night falls, Mickey searches for the keys but finds nothing. Ben suggests waiting in the car until morning. In the middle of the night, strange noises wake them. Turning on the headlights, they see a horde of starving zombies advancing. Ben, unable to run due to his injury, is trapped alongside Mickey in the car. By dawn, the undead surround them, pressing against the windows and rocking the vehicle. They remain trapped for hours. Mickey, frozen with fear, watches as Ben tries to shoot his way out, but the zombies are too many. Frustrated, Ben blames Mickey. If he hadn't confronted Annie, they wouldn't be in this mess. As time passes, they realize their food and water won't last. Desperate, they cover the windows with blankets, hoping the zombies will lose interest if they can't see them, but the creatures remain. To keep their sanity, they drink and try to make the most of their grim situation. By morning, they know they can't put off the inevitable. They need the keys to escape. Ben urges Mickey to go outside, find the keys, and do whatever it takes to survive. If he can't, Ben tells him to leave him behind and save himself. Mickey promises he won't abandon his friend. After taking a final drag from his last cigarette, he climbs through the hatch to freedom. For Ben, the wait is excruciating. Every second stretches endlessly as he anxiously hopes for Mickey's return. Just as despair begins to take hold, a knock sounds from above. Overcome with relief, Ben opens the hatch and helps Mickey inside, only to immediately sense that something is wrong. Mickey, trembling, lifts his bloodied hand. A horrifying realization dawns on Ben: Mickey has been bitten. In that instant, whatever hope Ben had left crumbles. Mickey, his eyes filled with tears, asks what to do. But Ben already knows there is only one choice. Without hesitation, he raises his gun and pulls the trigger, ending his friend's life. A tortured scream rips through him as he's consumed by grief. Days pass in a haze. Ben, lost in despair, struggles to recover from the loss of his only companion. Eventually, he contacts Annie over the radio. He recounts the trick he and Mickey once used to escape his parents' house, drawing zombies to one side while slipping away unnoticed. Then, with quiet determination, he tells her he plans to use the same strategy now. And if he survives, he vows to find her and put a bullet in her head. Turning on Mickey's music player, Ben removes the blankets from the car windows, drawing the attention of the undead. As the horde presses against the vehicle, he silently slips out through the trunk. The story ends with Ben limping down a desolate road. He has no supplies, no weapons, just a relentless swarm of zombies trailing behind. But this time, he has a purpose. He is no longer running. He is hunting. He is going to avenge his best friend.